Hello and welcome back to the MMA Split Pick Show. After a brief hiatus and one terrible quality episode that we did yesterday where what failed? The mics failed.
You couldn't get the camera
webcams
working.
failed.
The camera's working today. The audio was fucking arse, but we're holding the mics today. You can see we're not being so blasé with it.
Also figured out that you might have had my mic set to the wrong mic.
Might have been set to a webcam, yeah.
So, moving up in the world, welcome back.
Another reason the webcam didn't work, by the way.
If you're enjoying the content, please like, subscribe, feel free to leave comments, all that jazz, especially for the pick shows, because we want to hear what your picks and predictions are.
Also, if you are overwhelmed by apathy, hatred, just feeling a little confused, still hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment. It's what your father wanted for you. So do that. Because I'm sick of them just like being like, well, I don't like it, so I'm not going to hit like. And, well, I have nothing to say, so I'm not going to comment. Yeah, fucking do it anyway. I'd do it for you.
So with all of that out of the way, and the strong possibility that we get some thumbs down on this video, we've got a lot to talk about because it is UFC 282. It's the last pay-per-view of the year. And as we kind of touched in our low-quality production of the MMA podcast that we recorded yesterday, quite a few changes to this card. We've lost a couple of absolute barn-burner fights that I was looking forward to. We lost Jiri versus Błachowicz 2. We've lost what the title fight was meant to be.
Yep.
We still have Jan taking on Ankalaev. It's now our main event. It's now for the undisputed light heavyweight title.
Yeah.
Lost Robbie Lawler versus Ponzinibbio.
And OSP against the new boy.
Not just the new boy, but we've also lost him against Felipe Lenz, and I'm pretty sure he was the first meant to fight.
I can't remember. I just know that like the guy that he was going to fight was really a welterweight, and just felt like that was an easy pick to make. So I really I feel sad that we've lost that one. That was going to just basically fluff our scores.
All of that being said, because this card was so stacked to begin with, I still think we have a pretty damn good main card.
That's not what you said last week. That's what I said last week. You were very much like the last week was better.
It wasn't last week, it was yesterday.
Well, it was yesterday, but referencing last week's card.
True. I'm still down with it. I still think that it was a much better card before we lost these fights. I still can't tell you that it matches the excitement that I've had for our previous two pay-per-views, and I can't tell you that it's the year-ender that I was looking forward to.
Can I just remind you though that aside from the fact that we've got Jan fighting for an undisputed title,
which I
also
appreciate.
We also have Paddy the Baddie fighting. Okay, Darren Till. I know you're excited for Darren Till. I know you're excited for Bryce Mitchell and Leah Topuria.
Yep, these are all good fights.
You're excited for Chris Daukaus. We're both excited for that. I know you're G'd up for Chris Curtis fighting.
Okay, these are all true statements.
And you go to watch Billy Q, who you love, fight Alexander Hernandez, who you hate. Not irrationally. You hate him a lot. And he gives everyone a lot of very, very valid reasons to not like him.
This is also true.
I hate him less than you do, but I am fucking G'd up for Billy Q against Alexander the Great, so I know you are.
2 weeks ago, I had to stay up till about 12 o'clock to watch Billy Q beat up Alexander Hernandez. Now, I have to stay up until 1:30.
Boo-hoo, Buttercup. Catch up on Sunday. That's what I do.
It's still a good card. And we're going to be doing our picks and predictions. Obviously, we've had a couple of weeks when I was in Thailand where we didn't do our picks and predictions scores. All I know is that I am ahead.
Yeah, I think by 3 or 5 or
something along those lines. I was already ahead, and then I went further ahead after the New York card, and then we didn't do picks for the last two cards. So, whatever my lead is, and whatever my lead was, it's extended. And it's not huge, but
no, it's not. You've got a cushion, but
it's been consistently growing.
I already know that we're picking different on a few here, so I'm going to eat away at that cushion. Now I say maybe take the lead this week.
Okay, well,
We'll just jump straight
that's
in.
fight talk right there, so we might as well jump
Obviously,
straight into this main
we're
event.
talking about fights, Matthew. So, Jan Błachowicz,
Ankalaev.
the most recently dethroned champion, gets to fight for the undisputed title, bounces back right away.
Most
well,
recently
not-
dethroned champion in this weight class, except for Glovic's era.
Yeah, I've completely fucked that up. Yeah. The most recent to last dethroned champion, getting to get back in there. Undisputed title. It should have been Jiri Glover 2. Instead, you get Jan Magomed 1. I'm still pretty fucking excited. I had a very hard time making this pick. And I know that we picked differently, and I'm a big Jan fan anyway, so I want to cede the floor here.
Okay, so this is one of these rare situations where this fight going from a 3-round co-main event to a 5-round main event for the title, I think favours Jan. Now, don't get me wrong, Ankalaev should be the favourite going in. He's rightfully the favourite. He's lost one fucking fight and he was winning every second of that fight until he lost it. And it was his UFC debut. Now,
And it was Paul Craig.
Jan is getting older. A lot of people could say he's already been the champ, that was a bit of a miracle, he won it at a weak point in the division, yada yada yada. He's still a fucking dangerous guy. Look at the Rakic fight. Yeah, you can say that ended under unfortunate circumstances, but it just goes to show how durable he is, that he can mentally stay in fights,
Yep.
how damaging he can be. And two things that really stand out for me with Jan. He's one of the best in the division at fighting southpaws. He does it really well. And he fights southpaws and he fights guys who are in the southpaw stance really, really well. He's got... It doesn't always stand out, but his fundamental Muay Thai and his understanding of boxing is really solid. And when it comes to opposite stances, he's so good at winning the lead foot game. He's so good at nullifying the lead hand. And the other thing he's fucking good at is checking leg kicks. He is a guy that can basically is good enough to nullify and remove the leg kick game from somebody's arsenal. Now, when I look at Ankalaev, this is not a guy who likes to be aggressive. This is a guy who does not switch stances. He likes being in that southpaw stance, and he likes setting things up with leg kicks. That's usually how he likes to get his opponents, force his opponents to start coming through, and then he uses his jab to disrupt rhythm. And then obviously he's got fantastic counters, good wrestling. The wrestling is the one thing where I think, okay, can he put Jan on his back? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he can. And I think he can time those takedowns. I also think that Jan can sometimes struggle if he doesn't have an opponent being the aggressor. He likes counter-striking. And you can frustrate him, particularly earlier in his career, if you look at something like the Thiago Santos fight. Thiago Santos just stayed really patient, just made sure he was landing just a little bit more, won the first 2 rounds. Suddenly Jan decides to be aggressive, charges him and gets countered. That was a younger Jan. I think fights like the Adesanya fight have really taught him about IQ and how to stay patient and kind of staying mentally strong across the 5 rounds and handling those high anxiety moments. If he gets put in his back, he can get back up, and he trusts his power. I'm picking Jan, and that's a little bit of a fanboy move, but it's not without reason. And he has the advantage of having been the champ before. He's already walked this walk. For Ankalaev, he's never gone 5 rounds, man.
Outside of the UFC, is he not? I need to double check that. But you're right. Jan has the power. For me, that's like the biggest threat. I feel like Ankalaev can make adjustments throughout the fight. I don't expect him to come in with the same kind of game plan he's previously had for the reasons you've mentioned. But I also think what's kind of interesting here is Jan Błachowicz is going to be as prepared to level change as Ankalaev might be in this fight. I assume it's going to predominantly be on the feet anyway, but it is MMA. It's inevitable there will be sort of clinch moments and level changes. I don't know how much grappling we're really going to see. If we see like 20 fucking minutes of grappling, I'm going to be a little disappointed, I think. But yeah, the Polish power is real. Irregardless of that, I'm going Ankalaev. I just think he's going to take a slow, measured approach with the stand-up. I think he's just going to piece him apart enough to win at least 3 rounds. I don't think there's going to be a finish. If we do see a finish, I think Jan's going to be, a 2-time champion. But my suspicion is that we're going to get 5 rounds of very fun, light heavyweight action. And I'm going to take the sensible money here. I'm going to go Ankalaev.
I think Ankalaev's a really dangerous guy. But at the end of the day, I think the big wins he has on his resume, you have to put asterisks next to them. The Anthony Smith fight. Anthony broke his fucking ankle pretty fucking badly. I don't know if you can really... He won that first round, no question, but the rest of it has a question mark on it. The Thiago Santos fight. Thiago Santos fight?
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's an otherworldly talent. Like, when he came into the UFC, he was being marketed as a beast. Like, maybe this is like, the fucking anointed one. But the truth is, he's just a very good technician. And I think, in this fight, good enough to beat Jan. Can he beat Jiri Prochazka? Can he beat Glover Teixeira? I don't think so. Well, I think it's close, but I don't think he gets it. I think against Jan, yeah, I think assuming it's mostly going to be a stand-up battle here, I think he's technical enough to stay away, as good as Jan's footwork can be, like setting up the power hand. I think he's smart enough to stay away from that, and I think he's good enough to adapt his game plan and just keep catching Jan with things that he might not have trained for. I think he's going to see a lot of different looks in this fight, and if they've been trying to prepare like that, then that was probably a mistake anyway, because you're sort of best off just kind of trying to take his bread and butter away from him, but we'll see.
Well, I'm still picking Jan. I think he gets it done. I think this is a big step up for Ankalaev, and he's not fighting... It's not like Thiago Santos where you're fighting a guy that's not who he used to be. He's still fighting a dangerous fucking human being who can still knock him out. I hope he does. Let's go Jan. 2-time champ, put your name in the book. That takes us down to our co-main event. One of the advantages of a title fight falling off is it means that Paddy's off the feature fight up to the co-main event, co-maining a pay-per-view. It's not the... I don't think it's worthy of a co-main event slot, but he's bringing in a lot of the fan attraction. Okay. He's going to be selling a lot of the pay-per-views.
Obviously, you guys, is Paddy worthy of a big pay-per-view co-main? If it's in England, maybe. What if it's in America? Like, I don't know. Like, possibly. Okay, is Jared Gordon worthy? I love Flash, by the way. We're a big fans.
This is a good fight.
Yeah, but I feel like is Jared Gordon at this point in his career kind of like a big enough name to plug in as a co-main on a pay-per-view? Hell no. So like it's a moot fucking point. Like it's just obviously this fight shouldn't be co-main. It is what it is. Fights fell off.
As a fight, in terms of the matchmaking, I think this is a really good step up for Paddy. Yeah. This is you're fighting a dangerous unranked guy that's shown what he's about and has some good wins on his resume.
And a wrestler, so, Paddy's really, it's not going to be whether or not he wants to take it to the mat. That is where the fight is inevitably going to go, unless he tries to move heaven and earth to stuff every takedown. I just don't think that's going to happen.
Jared also, he's going to look to finish the fight on the mat as well. Ground and pound.
Which would be a mistake, because Paddy is very dangerous with those submissions in transition, and it's just like, just maintain that top control, look for mount. Like, just don't fuck around with him, honestly.
I feel like we talked about this after Paddy's last fight, where it's like, you can look at the hype and you can see some of the striking deficiencies and say, okay, he's just a hype train. And then you see him grapple, and it's like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, that's where you're actually absolutely elite.
Yeah, was he said, I'm the boy when it comes to the ground. I am the boy. He fucking is. He is.
I think when Jared Gordon talks about seeing holes in Paddy's game, he's talking about striking. and I don't think he's wrong. There's a lot of mistakes that Paddy still makes. I don't like the chin up in the air. I don't like the lack of the guard. He doesn't move his head off the centre line well. He throws a lot of these kind of like naked front kicks and teep kicks and scissor kicks that sometimes work out well, but can also get countered quite easily or move him into range, and then he gets sparked. That being said, if you put this fight on the ground, however good of a wrestler Jared Gordon is, I can't see Paddy not locking some kind of submission in. So, I mean my pick's Paddy. My pick's Paddy.
I'm picking Paddy too. I actually think Paddy's going to be afforded a few more opportunities on the feet here. I think Gordon's going to find out early on that although there are holes in Paddy's game, he's probably not the one to expose them, and he's not going to want to get clipped more than once. I think he's going to spam the takedown. I think there are going to be opportunities there to kind of, clip him on long shots, and if not reversing the position on the takedown, certainly looking to threaten things. Paddy all day. Just so many different ways he can win this fight. Jared Gordon's a fucking beast, and you are right. This is a big, big step up for Paddy. And I rate Jordan Levitt, but that was a step up. This is a bigger step up than the previous one he took.
You also know that there's a guy that we're going to talk about coming up later down on the main card that will be very much potentially calling Paddy out if he gets a win.
Yeah, I don't see him getting that win, and I don't see him making that fight anyhow. But yeah, definitely, he who will be. I think Aaliyah will be calling for that for sure.
Paddy all day, let the hype train continue. It takes us down to the fight that was meant to be Robbie Lawler taking on Ponzi. Instead, Alex the Great White Morono is stepping in. I'm a little obsessed about this because I'd love to see Robbie Lawler fight. I think this was a winnable fight for Robbie Lawler because Ponzinibbio is also kind of on the decline a little bit. He's sort of in that veteran territory. Alex Morono stepping in, and I kind of like Morono in this one.
You just saw me type that. I hadn't made a pick for this one. I literally just typed that out. You didn't.
I did
make that pick based on.
I did not.
But I have literally just typed that out. He's fucking gritty, bro. Like, yeah, Ponzinibbio might be looking for that finish hard in that third round. I think Morono can hang on. I think he wins the first two, and if he's not continuing to piece up Ponzinibbio at that point, because, all right, he's not like this big fucking shiny athlete. And truth be told, he really belongs at 165. It's just it doesn't exist in the UFC.
No, but he's high fight IQ. I think he's one of the head coaches in his gym.
Yep,
he always talks about coaching other guys.
Absolute fucking sniper. It's not so much that he's got a chin. It's just he's got that real fucking dog in him. Like,
and he makes the right decisions. He's decent everywhere. He can mix things up in the right way.
He's actually pretty elite as a grappler. Like, his submission threat is fucking real. Hard not to like him.
Ponzinibbio, before he had all of his bad injuries, was a real contender, man. But even with a couple of good performances, and he's had a win since he's come back, it's not the same guy. And
he has that John Jones game plan. The whole like, I kind of want to lead with the eye pokes, and then like the combinations from there. Alex Morono is like a little short, and he's here, there, and everywhere. I think it's going to be hard to get a finger in Alex's eye.
Yeah.
I'm calling it no more than 2 eye pokes in the fight.
I'm going Alex Morono.
Yeah,
as you. Takes us down to the return of Darren Till, still at middleweight, taking on Dricus du Plessis. And this is one of these awkward fights that will, in many ways, reshape and define the next chapter of your career. And here's what I mean. We've just had
one of these. Talking about Dricus, though.
We just had one of these with Dominic Reyes. We had one of these with Dan Hooker. And one of these is a guy who's been ranked higher, maybe even had a title shot. It's on a losing streak, but has lost to really good guys. And then he gets given the lower down in the rankings or unranked guy. And it's a double-edged sword. It's you either win this fight and get back on track, or you lose this fight and we feed your hype and your name to this new guy coming through. And with Dominic Reyes, he failed that test. with Dan Hooker, he passed that test. Which is Darren Till going to end up being? Because Dricus is dangerous, not as technical on the feet, but has the ability to wrestle and mix it up.
Well, he is awkward on the feet though. He's almost like an athletic version of Elias Theodori. You know, just that. He showed in that last fight, in the Brad Tavares fight, that he can have that awkward style at middleweight and explode into things and still land with heady shots, and maintain that through at least 3 rounds. So, I mean, fuck, this isn't a 5-round fight. I really don't like this fight for Till. You know,
has he still got it? That's the question. Is he 100%? Is he, I mean, as 100% as a fighter is going to be?
Even if he is, Dricus has been given this fight for a reason. And I really don't like this fight for Till. Even if he's 100%, I don't like this fight for Till. It's a bad matchup for him. Yeah, I'm picking Duplessis.
Fuck's sake.
Oh really?
Fuck's sake. I was hoping you might go Till on this one.
What a traitor. You fucking piece of shit.
I haven't seen enough from Darren Till recently for me to believe that he's going to come back. And this isn't the right fight for him to come back to. The layoff is over a year. He's had cancelled fights in between then. Injury after injury. I can't take the Derek Brunson fight out of my mind. The lack of physical preparedness that he seemed to show in that fight. Just his body was not that we've seen from him in the past. I don't know if he still has it. And until I've been shown that he's still got it, I'm going to have to pick the active guy, the guy that's young, up and coming, confident, motivated, and has everything to gain from this fight. Darren Till has nothing to gain from this. This is a high pressure, you have to win this fight.
He's not even the favourite on the betting line. I still thought you were going to pick him.
I wanted to pick him.
You have ruined this episode.
I wanted to pick him, but I'm going Dricus. Smart pick.
Yeah, I did the same thing. Alright. Mitchell against Paddy's Bezzy and
This is a great fucking fight, man.
Yeah.
This is such an interesting style matchup.
It's insane power at 45 against insane submissions at 45.
Does the power and the wrestling, though, nullify the submission game?
Well, let's be honest. It's not grappler against striker per se. It's more just like, can Alia Topuria knock out Bryce Mitchell or hurt him bad enough that it fucks up his entire night and ruins his game plan before Bryce Mitchell can take him down? Because as soon as Bryce Mitchell takes him down, it's almost a foregone conclusion. I hate talking hyperbole like that with these fights, but they've been putting up against some of the best grapplers in the division, and they survive by a thread if they don't get submitted. There's no way Alia Topuria survives more than a minute and a half on the ground on his best fucking day.
I think you were completely underselling the wrestling prowess of Alia Topuria. Look what he's been doing to guys in this division. Look what he's even done to guys at lightweight. Okay, the guy's got unbelievable. He's got strength and power. Okay, he's got a stocky frame. He's got a terrific wrestling prowess. This fight for me is decided by who can establish the grappling advantage. And although I give all of the technique credit, all of the skill points in favour of Bryce Mitchell, I just don't know if Topuria is not going to end up being too physical for him, too strong for him.
Oh no once it hits the mat. I mean, Jesus Christ, like Charles Rosa basically spent 15 minutes defending submissions. Alia Topuria can wrestle, but John Fitch, he is not. I cannot see him, with their difference in frames as well, just once it hits the mat, Bryce Mitchell is going to lock up the submission. And I think he'll be within a minute of it hitting the mat. Like, if it hits the mat in the first round, like a minute and change to go, maybe if Topuria does everything perfectly, he rides it out. But I don't think so.
What grapplers has Bryce Mitchell fought?
Charles Rosa
Charles
would be
Rosa.
kind of the big one, but let's bring him up.
Barbosa, striker. Touchy-feely, striker.
Actually, Feely is a bit of an all-rounder,
This is
and he
true,
spent
I'll
his
give that.
entire career at a wrestle heavy camp, and defended well on the ground against Bryce Mitchell. Tyler Diamond, good all-rounder.
None of these guys are Tapuria's level, man.
No. Tapuri is not at Mitchell's level. Like, none of these people... Like, Charles Rosa was not at Mitchell's level. That's the point I'm
Nor
making.
is he at Tapuria's level, but there's
I'd say Charles Rosa over Tapuri on the map.
I'm
I've got to
picking,
be
put it
honest.
this way, I'm picking Tapuria, man. However much I like Bryce Mitchell, I'm picking the raw powerhouse that is Tapuria.
I'm glad, because you've rescued this episode for me. You not picking Till ruined it a little bit, but now might as well be on as even. And I apologise if you can hear my oil infuser in the...
I love Bryce. Bryce Mitchell's one of my favourite fighters. He's one of my favourite fighters. But Tapuria scares me a little, man. And I think he's got the striking advantage, the power advantage. I think he's going to be more willing to engage and establish a top control. And I haven't seen Bryce Mitchell on the bottom. I've always seen him engaging and being on top. I don't imagine that he's going to be strong enough to keep Tapuria down, even if he gets the takedown. And I think Tapuria's body type is going to be really hard to lock in some of the subs that Bryce Mitchell likes to go for. So I don't see Tapuria getting finished.
He's not going
either
for a
of them.
twister, but I think locking up a Das or a guillotine, easy money.
Well, we will see. That's going to end up as looking like that could be quite a pivotal fight in this week's picks. So,
Well, I'm kind of hoping you fucked up the next one too.
Josino versus Chris Daukaus.
Yeah.
It's really hard to pick somebody that I've seen get brutally knocked out twice in a row. It's really fucking hard.
I know, but if you talk the Dork, you got to walk the Dork, right? I
But
mean,
if-
I bum Chris Dorcas just as hard as you do. I don't think this is a good
I'm
fight
kind
for
of off the
Chris.
Dorcas train, to be honest. Like, there's only so many times you can watch a man get knocked out by a heavy hitter before you're just like, you know, fools on me, shame's on me. So I'm picking Jarzinho because, again, I feel like the Daukases have kind of hit their level a little bit.
Well, he hasn't shown that he's got an answer to that kind of question, like, as a heavyweight, with your busy style, how are you going to avoid getting hit, by guys like Derek Lewis, Curtis Blades. I got to figure, if you can't get past Blades like that, Rising Strike's probably not the bounce back fight you want. At the same time, if you want to be a top 5 fighter in this division, you have to find a way. Best way to get the experience is, the experience is what you get just after you needed it. So let's assume that he's, after 2 bites at the apple, learned enough to... How the fuck do you protect your head in a fight like this? I don't see it happening. I feel bad for Chris. I love Chris. It's not his fault. There's not like a 225 or something there within kind of division. He's never getting down to 205. Just fucking is what it is.
This is a bad fight for him. Jarzinho is beatable. You can beat him with volume. You can beat him with pressure. I don't know if Chris Daukaus is going to be able to do that throughout the whole fight. And confidence is a big factor, man. When you're coming off 2 bad knockout losses, it's hard to fight somebody where you feel like you can't make a mistake.
And your corner and your brother who's just losing left, right, and centre too. It's just
It's a shame. It's not going well for them. So I'm picking Jarzinho.
fair enough. Although I do still like Chris and the Dark Knight as well. If only he could stay away from those headbutts, but it's just not the way his style goes.
Right, Paul Rosas Jr.
Raul Rosas Jr.
Raul Rosas
the nipper off of Contender Series. He's only 18. This is the guy. This is the kid.
Oh, I know
So-
I'm picking.
Fighting Jay Perrin.
I knew nothing about this fight, but I'm going to pick the kid. I'm going to pick the guy that you had that reaction to. Let's go double RJ.
Look, no disrespect to Perrin. I kind of went back and forth a little bit, but I think Royces Jr.'s, or RJ as I'm going to go from here on out, is, kind of hyped for a reason. Yeah, both taking RJ on this one. Alright. Another supposedly young, supposed talent. Edmund Shabazian.
Bit of a rough ride.
Yeah, Golden Boy sounds like such a dumb fucking name when you lost that many on the bounce. But lucky enough, Dalcha Lungiambula I think matches him for losses in a row right now.
Oh, this is a win to stay in fight, no question.
Yeah, this is like if you can't beat this fucking dude, then fuck off kind of thing. And we feel bad for putting a number by your name at any point.
And I have to feel that
And Lungiambula is not a joke. So
Shabazian has had some good wins against good fighters.
Yeah.
There is a talented man there. It has just gone so horrifically wrong. And the problem is he's got that idiot as a coach. He used to coach Ronda.
Yeah,
And
here's the thing, if you keep trying to suck Ronda Rousey's dick, sooner or later you're going to find out that Ronda Rousey doesn't have a dick.
Yeah, it's actually Travis Brown's dick.
He's not sucking on Travis's, trying to think of something Hawaiian, and I was like, it's only going to sound racist anyway.
You can argue here's the biggest proof of a bad coach. A fighter their record getting worse and them seeming to have worse performances the longer they spend with that coach. It's like you took a talented guy, had some success with him while the talent's there, and then slowly but surely coached him.
Well, even
away
Ronda,
from victory.
you took the best grappler, really probably ever at women's bantamweight, and you made her believe she had hands, and then you put her in there against Nunes, and you were like, yeah, keep on the feet.
Everyone should believe they have hands. You just shouldn't believe that you have punches. It sounded more profound in my head. Either way, I'm picking Shabazian because he's got to eventually win
Like
a
and
fight.
subscribe. Yeah, he fucking has, man. He has. I'm going Shabazian as well. I'm going Golden Boy. Mostly because as tough as his recent run has been, Lungiambula, he's not shit. He's just also had like a rough run. He's not great. Shabazian on paper beats him all day. Shabazian actually pragmatically there fucking in front of him. I hope so, but I think it's a little closer than the betting line has it in my head. Yeah, fuck it. This next one's fun to talk about though.
Chris Curtis.
Yeah.
Joaquin Buckley. How has this fight not happened before?
Well, yeah, mostly because I think,
Too many hearts will break.
yeah, Buckley, I wouldn't say he's chinny, but he can be knocked out. And Chris Curtis, very smart, very durable, very powerful. Just sort of feels like even if this was a 1-round fight, you gotta pick Curtis by KO.
I think you just got to pick Curtis because he's deceptively good.
Yeah, he's not. He's not a fucking bum just 'cause he's old,
And he's beaten people that I don't know.
Well, he's
Yeah,
beating
Joaquin
people where
Buckley.
he's just losing these fights, and then he catches them. Joaquin Buckley, 1, very hittable, 2, not very durable. So
He's not very big.
yeah.
And that's the thing, but Chris Curtis, the way that Chris Curtis fights, he has this ability to negate size even when he's smaller. And he's good at going to the body. I think the Hermanson fight was probably a step too far on short notice, and he had a bad performance in general on that one. But, I don't know if Buckley beats a Brendan Allen, for example.
Yeah.
I even think that the artist formerly known as Megatron would have been a really tough fight for Buckley. But you see, then you get certain performances from Buckley where you see him mix it up, and you see him bring the wrestling in, and I think that there's a mentality to the guy. And even in the fight that he lost to Imavov, what a fucking monster that guy is. But he was still going for it. He was still trying all the way through, and I think all of this is going to lead this, unless there's an early knockout, I think this is going to be a barn burner of the fight.
Agreed.
I'm picking Curtis because I have to, but
You don't have to. You can just let me have this one.
no, gotta be Curtis. But I don't think it matters who wins. In terms of their career trajectories, I don't think it matters. I think this is just one of those fun fights that you put together. One of them's going to lose, and people are still going to like them. No matter what.
One of them's going to lose, and it's almost certainly Buckley.
Well, let's talk about a guy who's definitely going to lose. Billy Q taking on Alexander Hernandez.
You should say Hernandez first when you like preface this with like someone who's definitely going to lose.
But this is a featherweight fight.
You can't tell me you're actually picking Alexander Hernandez.
No, this is the first time he's cut to featherweight. If anything, I think this only favours Billy Quarantier. This feels like it's a desperation move from the so-called great man.
Well, actually, I just think it's good matchmaking. I think Billy Q's only a little bit better than Hernandez, but I think he's a little bit better everywhere, and that's going to equate to an arse kicking.
Well, I think he's a lot better at featherweight. Unless Hernandez has made a complete physical change to his body, I feel like this is going to be a tough cut for him.
Yeah, for whatever kind of like power trade-off you think you're going to achieve, the diminishment to your ability to absorb a shock is so much greater. It just doesn't make sense.
Empty gas tank, and Billy Q's going to be in your face, pressure, volume.
Yeah.
Any size advantage, I think he's going to be able to negate just with his pressure.
The guy's a savage. He always comes for it. So yeah. Fuck you, Alex. No one's picking Alex. We're both picking Bill.
Takes us down to TJ Brown against Eric Silva. I'm going to be honest, I haven't done too much research this week.
So Eric Silva, debutant, coming off I think Contender Series, maybe just Jungle Fights or something. But this is a close one on the betting line. I do kind of rate TJ Brown. I think Eric Silva might be a favourite here. I'm going downtown Brown though.
I'm going to follow you to Brown Town.
Yeah. But I can't really give too much of a breakdown on this. I've never seen Silva fight. I am going to tell you that I'm a little bit hyped to watch this fight. Just off the kind of hype that Eric Silva has.
Yep.
And the fact that it's a TJ Brown fight, so reasons to be excited. Can I tell you how it's going to pan out? Fuck no. But we're obliged to make picks. I'm going Brown.
Well, I'm just going to go Brown as well because I don't want to lose ground on you in case I'm wrong.
You fucking
fight that I know nothing about.
Okay, well, that's not going to change. So, Vinicius Salvador, Daniel Da Silva.
Would you like me to go first on this one to avoid the aforementioned?
Yes, go first.
I'm going Daniel Da Silva because his initials are DDS, and I think that's cool.
If I don't win this fucking pick, I'm going with Salvador. To be honest, it's two debutants fighting. Salvador's a debutant. I think Da Silva's actually fought in the UFC.
You are correct.
Yeah, and lost 3 times. So that's why he didn't make too much of an impression there. I'm going Salvador. I'm just going to buy into the hype a little bit. It seems to be like a moderate favourite on the betting line. Again, never seen Salvador fight, so it is what it is. And then this next one is 2 debutants.
Both with identical records. So I am going to go first and say that my pick is the undefeated debutant.
That's Simon, isn't it? Or Simon.
They're both undefeated.
Ah, fuck. Alright, who are you going for?
You have Schrodinger's cat.
Schrodinger's cat is a way to explain how poorly people try to reason quantum physics back in the fucking 70s or something. Who did Schrodinger pick? If you were the cat, who would you pick?
Well, the whole point is that the cat's both alive and dead at the same time. So
no, it's the the idea that certain particles won't do anything until observed, and Schrödinger was like, that is fucking ridiculous. Like, that's like saying if you put a cat in a box with some poison, that cat isn't dead until you've observed it. It's like, that's just not how quantum physics works. And quantum physics in itself is like, it is a bit of an apologetic kind of science where they're like, we know that it's wrong, but we're just bootstrapping it until we get there. Like, we're just doing the best that we can until we figure it out. But like, Schrödinger's cat is about the idea of like, I think it was like the radioactivity of particles or something, like, won't become a factor until observed. And Schrödinger was like, you guys are fucking stupid. Here is how I'm explaining how stupid you are. But, more importantly, I want this pick, so you've got to go first.
Okay, so I'll go for Cameron Simon.
God fucking damn. It's not what the cat would have done. It's not what the cat would have done. Yeah, I've also gone with Simon.
So you see, it doesn't even fucking matter.
Yeah. I don't think I've got enough there to get the lead back, but I'm going to eat away at it. I think we've got like 3 or 4 different here.
There's going to be some differences. And no matter what, we're going to have a new light heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
Next week.
Always exciting.
Always exciting. A couple of Englishmen on the card. It's always exciting.
Yeah, I only picked one of them.
Me too. But 50%, it's not awful. It's not awful. Guys, tell us your picks. Who do you think is going to win? Leave them in the comments. Like the video, subscribe. Sorry about the picture quality and the absences recently, but we're back and we're improving. And we're hoping for a lot more studio apps.
Yeah, actually, the picture quality is not too bad today. It's more just the lighting. We lost the light. It's not cricket we play on, so. But hopefully the audio is better here. But we're just kind of holding the mics. Yesterday was us when we recorded it. We are going to improve. We are investing more money into the equipment.
We need your PC fixed, really. That's the big thing.
Yeah,
that's the major thing that changes this entire operation.
Absolutely.
I think coming
next week. Yeah.
England quarterfinals. That's exciting. This Saturday, it's going to be a nuts day of sport. UFC 282 in the evening. England playing 8 o'clock.
Kicks off for us.
8 o'clock it kicks off for us. And Sunday, massive game. Sunday night prime
9
time.
o'clock it kicks off for us.
No, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Alright. And then Sunday prime time for America. Stupid o'clock in the morning for us. Chargers versus Dolphins. Must win. After the embarrassment of the 49ers defeat. Got to get back on the horse.
Shit, they were over the Giants this week.
Kill those bastards that abandoned San Diego. Are you fucking you're already in the playoffs? 11 and
No. At this point, I want number 1 seed. Like, I remember talking about it like at the start of the season where I was like, we only have to score like 20 odd points a game. You know, I think it's viable that we could be up there. This was actually like when I'd forgotten that they ditched 2 teams having the bye in the playoffs. I thought we could sneak in at second, but right now I'm looking firmly at first. We've got the tiebreaker over the Vikings. It's really just like beat the Cowboys, don't fuck up the rest of the season. Like we're fucking there.
Best of luck there. Guys, we'll be back next week with the podcast talking about everything that's happened in the UFC, touching on the other big sporting events of the weekend as well. Hopefully see you there. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the fights. Bye, Laurie.
Bye, Laurie. Bye, Dave.